Ryan Morik, welcome to the Sport Profile.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
I'm really excited for this, dude. How have the first few months of this year been for you? You've had a super busy year so far.
I have.
I know. Just got started talking about the biggest development, probably one of the biggest developments. You are a dog dad.
That's the second biggest development.
The second biggest development.
Because in August, I'm going to be a human dad.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's the second biggest development.
I thought that the dog was like the big deal. And then it's funny. My wife and I got out of Jersey City in August. The dog was a battle back and forth for probably a couple of years. And I finally lost the battle. I guess like secretly.
What was your defense? What was your defense, Ryan Morik? What were your points?
Okay.
And look, I don't have a dog either.
Bad guy, not a dog lover. Like, just,
and that's look,
never was a dog lover. Especially after I saw a dog kill a cat in my old Queens neighborhood. So that was like this was like 7 years ago. I was like, yo, don't with dogs. Like
that
good.
Just traumatized you.
Which is funny, yeah. Like still to this day. So like I don't like dog parks. I don't like any like we went to Working Dog Winery yesterday. Like the whole time, like I'm just on edge. So I drank a whole bottle of wine by myself yesterday. Like I was good. So but Melissa loves dogs. So I guess I finally just lost the battle when we moved out here to Matawan. And then 2 weeks later, we found out that she was pregnant. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I mean, I was happy, obviously. We were trying for a little bit. We obviously want a kid, but now I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, so for 3 major life events in less than a 4-month span. We moved, we got a dog, and we're having a baby in August.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
What does that do for you mentally? Like, how do you process all of these things that are just happening so quickly?
I wouldn't say it has officially hit me yet that I'm having a kid, but there are moments, like.
Tell me, what are they? What are those moments?
Every time when I told my parents, obviously that was very emotional. You make the big announcements on social media and everyone's texting you and you're like, oh yeah, like that happens. Yep. We went to a wedding. We've been to a couple of weddings over the last couple of weeks and you see the father-daughter dances and the mother-son dances and you like, it's those little moments. And I guess it hasn't also hit me yet because Melissa's not pregnant. I think yesterday marked 16 weeks. So she's showing, but like, it's nothing big, but I feel like once we get to see the belly, that's when I'm like, yeah, we got something coming. Yeah. So I almost feel bad because I'm not mentally like stressed out yet, which is because like I love like I'm having a boy. Like I love my son to the.
I was gonna ask you if you knew what you were having yet.
Yes, we're having a boy. We're having a boy. We were told it was a girl, but we found out it was a boy. Did you see the video I dropped?
No.
I had a little help of some friends, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo making the
yes. That I did see that. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was Super Bowl week. Yeah, I don't like, again, it hasn't totally hit me yet. And it's almost weird when someone brings it up, I guess, because like, I'm not like, I don't know, I'm just some 30-year-old guy like who just works and chills and like. But yeah, it's happening, man, and it is exciting stuff.
When do you think it will hit you?
Like I said, probably when Melissa's really, really pregnant, which I'm gonna assume was within the next couple of months or so.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, even probably a couple of weeks. That's probably when it'll really start to.
Sure.
When we talk about paternity leave, like I'm not like once all that nitty gritty stuff happens.
Those big title conversations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about moments. Like a couple weeks ago, we bought a crib. We go like, and now like my algorithm is all dads and like whatever. So like, again, like it's more moments that you sit back and you're like, oh yeah, this is actually happening. Yeah. Before like you really get to realize it.
Yeah, that's something I want to talk about as well because knowing you over the course of your career, I personally know that like. You are very big on reflection and you value it so much. You made a LinkedIn post about your 2025, which I loved, by the way. I track all that stuff too, where like you interviewed, certain number of athletes, combined all stars. even noting how many of them were Hall of Famers I saw, and the stories you wrote as well. Why is that such a core value for you? The ability to be reflective.
I think you just got to remember where you came from, right? Like we were talking last week. A lot of people do get lucky in this business, and I'm certainly one of them. The fact that I get to do this for a living, but it wasn't that long ago when I was in this job search and I was delivering pizzas just to make a couple of extra bucks. Like during COVID, that was it, right? Like I was at SNY part time for less than 2 weeks before March 12th hit, and we got the email saying like, "Hey, part
Mm.
timers aren't going to be a thing for a little while." So called up a buddy and said, "Hey, who owns a pizza place?" I said, "Yo, like, you need any extra help?" Like, so it's not that long ago, right? And I always thought that it was important to. It's about not taking things for granted. It's about remembering where you came from. I feel like I've been seeing this on Instagram lately, like March 2019, wouldn't believe where I am in March 2026, right? And sounds corny. I see these posts on
But
Instagram
it's
and I'm like, all right,
damn
like,
true, isn't it?
right, it is, and maybe that's because I was a 23-year-old kid versus a 30-year-old kid with a kid on the way, right? Like,
And
obviously,
that's
life is
insane
so much
too.
different, but
2019 does not feel like it was 7 years ago.
it, I think it does, honestly.
It does?
Yeah, I feel like it was a long time ago.
I don't know.
I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that little conspiracy theory, like, oh, something happened during COVID, where like time frame. No,
And
I think
yeah,
it's I think it's gone. I mean, I don't know. I think when you're an adult, time just moves faster. I guess that's just
I'd agree.
maturing. I think that's just maturing.
Oh, sure.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. To go back to the question, I guess just and for the lack of being corny in my answer, I really do think it's just about remembering where you came from and knowing that this wasn't easy,
Mhm.
and I kind of just want to share the story to tell people like, hey, this can be possible. Again, I'm very 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 lucky, and I do want to tell my story, right? Like, not to humble brag a little bit, but I like what I do.
Of course. I mean, look, that is the goal. That is the absolute goal,
Yeah,
to love what you do. And I know
yeah.
that you do very much. What kept you going then? You know, COVID is COVID's tough. You know, starting out your career and then, you said 2 weeks, which is nuts. Be like, yeah, we're not going to be doing this much. What does that do to you as a 23-year-old?
I'm trying to think. So I was 20. Yeah, I was about 24 actually when we got the email. But I knew that I was always going back to SNY,
Sure.
right? Like, nothing was ever permanent. So I knew that my job was safe if and when everything was going to turn back to normal.
Okay.
So kind of a cop out answer to your question. Like, I kind of
No.
always knew that I would kind of have a spot. But also, I think I told you this when we talked last week. Like, my dad worked on Wall Street for 40 years, still works on Wall Street 40 years, still have no
Mhm.
idea what he does. My brother works in finance for 11 years after graduating college, still have no idea what he does. I didn't have an option. It was running or nothing for me, right? Like, we see the memes when like athletes are like, oh, it was baseball or nothing, it was golf or no, it was basketball or nothing. For me, it was kind of writing or nothing, right?
Was it really?
No, probably not. I knew that sports media was it was sports or nothing. That's for sure. It was always sports media or nothing. That absolutely. Or
What would
teaching. Yeah, definitely.
teaching?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What type of
Gym,
teaching? Gym?
gym. I always liked gym. I always liked U.S. history
Sure.
as boring as it was. I don't know. I would have been a pretty easy teacher. I would have stuck in middle school or high school just to keep like 45 minutes. I couldn't babysit elementary school kids.
I
But
was
yeah,
gonna say, you don't strike me as the tough grader, the strict grader.
I don't. Yeah, probably not. I was a pretty cool substitute teacher when I was doing it.
You had said that to me the other day
Yeah,
too. You said that being a substitute teacher was one of your most enjoyable jobs. Not that you don't like what you do right now at Fox News, obviously. You do very much so. Why do you think you enjoyed that so much, being a substitute teacher?
I had a good relationship with a lot of teachers back in high school. I guess it was just
Yeah.
me playing baseball and being involved in a lot of things. When I subbed at Old Bridge, my sister had still gone to the school at the time, so I would like be chilling with my sister and her friends like in the middle of class. So that was cool. And like
You
not
were
like so
Did you ever
yeah,
sub for your
I
sister?
did. I did, yeah.
You
One
subbed for your
time.
sister.
One time. Yeah. It was, I think it was like
Oh,
it was one of her science classes, and I tried so like taking attendance, and I tried so hard. Haley Morik! And we burst out laughing, and the entire class is like, what is going on? And I'm like, guys, it's my sister, Mr. Morik. So
that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, subbing was great. Easy buck, and you babysat a fresh pair of kids every 45 minutes, and then you went home. And you got home at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and that was it. And then you would apply for jobs and then work for SNY.
It
Good
sound like a
day.
good. I was gonna say, sound like a good day to me.
Good day. Good day.
I wanted to even talk about that a little bit more. Freelancing is tough. It is such a mental grind. And I know what you said before about how it was this or nothing, and you had to make it work. Where did that determination come from for you? Where did that steadfastness to be like, I'm going to actualize this as much as I possibly can? Where did that come from?
I think we all just kind of want to live our dream, right? Like we all want to say we made it. And that was, and I think I've always been kind of a self-determined I'm very easily motivated, admittedly. So
Sure.
I think even I can go back to my high school days when I wasn't playing on the baseball team, but I certainly showed up to practice. And again, I'm at the risk of sounding really corny here, but
No.
there was something about me that was always easily motivated, easily determined. Like I knew that go like I knew that going to work would never be an issue for me. I knew that wanting to work would never be an issue for me. And the fact that there was a part of me that knew that this was possible. We've all seen stories, right? Where like person A got this job at age 35 years old. Person A got this job at 50 years old. Like I always kind of knew that there was a time limit for me.
You
But
felt there
then
was a
again,
time limit?
I wouldn't say time limit, but like I guess I can't imagine if I were not at Fox by now. I don't know. I probably would be teaching at this point, right?
Hmm.
Like I really don't know. To
Right.
hit
And you
that
never
Kanye
will.
West, I guess we'll never know, right? Like
Right.
the words of Kanye.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I truly was always easily motivated, and I knew that I had a lot of success early in my career. I had a really cool internship, and I had on-air experience on the radio
Right.
station. So there was always a part of me that knew that things were possible, right?
Sure.
And I knew that if I kept on going, we can make something work.
I wanted to ask your impressions on Fox News starting to cover sports from like their website. What did you think about that when they first started it? Because you've really helped build that section from the ground up.
No, 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 no. All props to Ryan Gatos, my manager.
And Ryan, you and
Yeah,
Ryan were doing that.
seriously. He built that thing from the ground up. I wish I could tell his story as good as he can. So I'm not gonna try because I would not do it the justice that it deserves. But Gatos is an absolute workhorse who truly built this thing from the ground up. This thing is his baby. I think it's important to tell the stories where politics and sports cross, right? Everyone
Right.
thinks that this just happened within the last decade with Colin Kaepernick. No, not true. We've said like in the 50s and 60s, we heard a ton of stories about Muhammad Ali,
Of
right?
course.
Like, and I can go chapter and verse, and sports and politics and how they've always crossed is not my expertise, but I'm sure that both of our parents and even grandparents can probably tell similar stories about how they cross paths, right?
Right.
And now we are truly seeing it. I would argue that there is no president in our lifetime, or even ever, probably, that is so involved with sports like President Trump, right? And whether you like it or not, he's involved. Whether it's with college athletics, whether it's simply showing up to games,
Hmm.
right? Like we are seeing the president go to games, and these are becoming stories. There's so many politics and sports stories now. It's not just
Yeah.
athletes supporting a candidate. It's not just the Black Lives Matter movement affecting games in COVID in
Hmm.
2020. It's not just Nick Bosa wearing a MAGA hat right after the election. There are so many things that I do think it is important to tell the story. And Gatos has recognized that, and it works. Obviously, it works for us because we are Fox News. But at the end of the day, these are sports stories, right? And I think
Sure.
that as a sports writer at Fox News, I'm doing people a disservice by not telling these stories. And these stories are controversial, right?
Hmm.
Like sometimes they're not easy to tell.
Of course.
These stories are not easy to tell sometimes, and you really need to try your best to keep it down the middle, whether you think one way or another.
Right.
But they are important. I'm not saying that every single person has to beat it down to the death, right?
Sure.
But I think that if people are interested about it, you got to tell the story.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, certainly if people are talking about it, it's worth telling.
Yeah.
It's worth offering a perspective. But even still, like your stories, like aren't always political. Like you are still writing traditional sports stories, like involving politics. It's not always one way or another. I mean, I saw the story you wrote, recently about Stephen A's comments criticizing President Trump, even about his decision to make the Army Navy game a standalone game. That's a different direction from various opinions that are put out there. I wanted to ask also, like in a broader view of storytelling, how have you maintained a level of authenticity in your work? Because I know for you, and just speaking with you and having a relationship with you, like that is very important to you. Why do you think authentic storytelling in general, not outside of sports even, why do you think that is so important to you? Why do you value it so much?
I think people need to realize that, like, it's okay to see both sides of things, right? Like, I
Mhm.
know who I work for, and I know who I'm telling stories to. But at the end of the day, like, it is important to see everyone's view.
Mhm.
And readers are smart, right? Like, yeah, I think some people are hung up in their own ways, but at the end of the day, you can't you can't make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, right? Like, people are going to see through you
True.
if you write some bull. It is important to be authentic, obviously, because if you're not, then readers are going to catch on to you relatively quickly and realize that you're feeding them some crap, and and then they think nothing is real, right? Like,
Right.
we're seeing an age in social media where you can't believe anything you see. We're seeing an age in
This
AI
is
where you can't
true.
believe anything you see.
That's a whole
So
other conversation.
of course it is, but now it joins the conversation of something's got to be true, right?
Yeah.
So so it's my job to tell the truth.
Right.
And if you read something that I write and you think that it's a liberal take or whether you think it's a conservative take, you're probably wrong because it's just what's happening. Like, it is what it is.
That's true too. What are some of your favorite stories to tell?
Really good question. I like to tell this. It's a really good question. I do like to tell the stories. Honestly, we've gotten real pretty involved in the business side, honestly.
Yeah.
And again, this was something.
I know that was very big for you at Super Bowl recently.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We did a lot of business interviews, and like I said, I say it half jokingly, but it truly was like sports are nothing for me, right? So
Yeah.
what Fox has done, truly, like, I know a lot more about the real world now. I know a lot more about what's going on overseas or whether in this country or whatever,
Sure.
because I kind of have to, right? Like, if I were working for a sports only site, like, I wouldn't know anything. But now with
Mhm.
Fox, I am a little bit more informed, and now that we've tied into the business world, I have a lot of stories on Fox Business now. I can understand how an entrepreneur's mind works, and I can understand how they think of something that's like, "Hey, let me make this money." Even talking to you and how you realize that you found a niche for something. Like,
Mhm.
those are the stories that I'm starting to love to tell. I think anyone can write. Aaron Judge went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the World Baseball Classic final against Venezuela in their 3-2 loss.
Mhm.
Anyone can write that St. John's won on a buzzer beater, right?
Still can't get
Not
over that.
anyone can write the story of you starting this podcast. Not everyone can write the story of Michael Testa starting up Wonder Fan. Not many people
Yeah.
can write about an athlete partnering with somebody,
Mhm.
right? So those are the stories that I'm starting to really love to tell. I went to school to learn about how to put box scores into a lot of words, but that does get old, right? Like, it gets a little bit repetitive, and you got to find
Sometimes, yeah.
you got to find something else that you kind of have to force yourself to like, not for the lack of a better term, right? Like, I didn't go into this job thinking, oh, I can't wait to talk to entrepreneurs and talk about how much money they're making and how they decided to do it. But once you start to learn and realize how these people kind of work. It is fun.
I agree. It it's it is very interesting to learn about like how people's minds work because once you hear them speak, you get like I mean that's why I like it. Like you get a window into their psyche, if you will, almost. And for me, that is just fascinating. Substance aside, just the way they're talking about it, how they're talking about whatever it is they may be. I'll play to your point on entrepreneurship. Covering sports business. When I was at Sportico, talking to folks who are investing more money than I'll probably ever see in my lifetime. I mean, maybe look, God willing, I'll get a little some of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
of course.
God can dream. It's so interesting, that dichotomy, hearing their institutional knowledge, but then the other side of me is just saying like, yo, you're just another dude. You're just another
For real.
woman,
They are.
right?
They honestly
Like
are.
you put your pants on same time, same as me.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what my dad always says. He's always like, my dad's never really been somebody to get starstruck over anyone. He'll be like, "Oh, she or he goes to the bathroom same way you do."
yep,
Like,
yep,
who are they?
right.
You know?
Those business conversations too are some of the best that I have
Do you
because I
think so?
you know why?
Tell
Little
me.
little secret, I almost never prepare for them. Oddly enough.
And I'm curious. I have an idea as to what you're gonna say next, but please tell me why.
I'll basically go up to them and I'll be like, "I have no questions set. Explain to me this whole thing like I'm 5, and we go from there."
Yes. Yes.
Every athlete, and this is probably a knock on myself. I often catch myself not listening to them because I'm so prepared, or I'm trying to prepare myself to ask the next question. I had an interview with Stacey Sabathia a couple hours ago, and I knew that I had to
Amazing.
ask A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Like I
Okay.
knew that like I had to ask a certain amount of questions. So I'm kind of just waiting for him to stop talking so I can go on to the next thing,
Okay.
right? These business conversations, I'm like, yo, what's good? And it works. Like it really does work. It teaches me to listen. It teaches me some good follow up questions
Sure.
because nothing is planned, and that's why it's fun. And like you said, like these guys are normal people. You expect to go into a business interview and they got a suit and tie on, and maybe this is just a work from home environment that we live in now. But like whether it's in person or on Zoom, they're in a hoodie. If I meet up in person, like clean that, like what's good, and that's that. Like again, sometimes these things aren't rocket science. Like
Yeah.
sometimes sitting down with someone and asking them about what they do, it can be pretty easy.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, look. That's why I view interviewing as a science. Viewing it as a science isn't as easy. You know, I don't know, little self promo, but like, I mean, I did write a 20-page paper on it in school. Got an A minus. Just
A
saying.
minus.
Yeah, I got an A minus.
All right,
I
it's
got an A
good.
minus on my senior
Good.
thesis.
Nice.
Look, my professor held me to a high standard. You know,
That's true. Good point.
I mean, look, even now, like, I wish I could have done more with it. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'll write a book about it. Who knows?
Yeah. What 180 pages left? That'll suffice. You don't need
Could
200.
be
You can probably get away with like one.
180.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
Well,
a lot
I was
too.
saying add on to your 20.
Yeah, true, true.
That's
Yeah,
a lot. I think you can
I
get
mean,
away
look,
with like
20 was
150.
a lot.
Yeah,
20 was a lot for me. I mean, look, you know how communications people operate in school. You went to Ramapo College.
I
You
did.
know, you know how those things operate in those classes. Everybody always makes fun of us because we don't have like really hard finals that we have to like study 20 hours for,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I was never much of a studier, as bad as that is.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I
I
do
probably
I
could have
did
done
a
a lot.
little bit obviously.
Yeah, like when I was like real, like when I was clueless. Yeah, but yeah, I
Aren't
probably
we
could have
all a little bit
gotten.
clueless though?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
I, I think so. But
Someone's
I
got to
think
lead something.
yeah, I mean, look, I just think some people are less clueless than others. Some people are more clueless than others. Ryan, I wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself away from Fox News, away from the work that you do. you mentioned obviously you are a dog dad right now. You're about to be a human dad in a handful of months. I mean, I feel like almost August is around the corner, but what are some ways that you love to stay true to yourself, stay grounded, and just maintain a sense of self?
Much to my wife's chagrin, play a lot of golf. That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, well, being off on Mondays in the summer is nice. We got a lot of golf in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. Like I just chill. Like I chill. I go to the range. I play some golf. We're joining a men's baseball league this spring.
Really?
I'm getting back on the mound. The
You're
the the,
pitching again?
the
Good
wing is
for
feeling all
you.
right.
Good for
We got
you.
a bat yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
come through.
impressed. Overhand, underhand? Is
Oh,
this
oh,
men's softball?
this is baseball, dude. We are playing 60-90 baseball.
Wow. Good
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
the metal spikes are coming back on. I played in the fall actually. I played in the
Yeah.
fall. It had been about 5 years since I had played, um, and I just wanted to do it again. Like I had the itch to play, and I'm like, let's do it.
Where'd
I
that come
joined.
Where'd that itch come from? Did you just need something for for yourself again outside of work?
So yeah, so I had played flag. Shout out to my best friend Brandon Kurtzman, who founded a flag football league here in New Jersey. But
Nice.
just we got old, and it was time. It was full contact flag football, as weird as that might sound. So, in the trenches,
Okay.
like in the trenches, full blocking.
Full blocking, full tackling, just get the flag.
Yeah. Full blocking, like full rushing. But like I'm 6'4" with 200 some pounds. Like they suck me on the line, and every Sunday I'm coming home with black and blues on my chest, and like
Oh no.
so it was time to do something a little bit softer. So once the league, I guess, ceased operations, I'm like, I got to try something different, and we went. I'm boycotting softball for as long as I possibly can.
Sure.
How I got 13 other people to say yes to baseball, I have no idea. But the Bayshore Roadrunners opening day is on April 12th.
Wait,
Here,
wait, wait. How you got the are are you organizing this league, Ryan Morik?
the league, no, the team, yes.
Okay.
I'm the manager of the Bayshore Roadrunners of the New Jersey Amateur Baseball League.
Wow. Good for you.
We got the college buddies on deck. We got a couple of other high school buddies on deck,
Oh my
and we're
god,
rocking
it's
and
like
rolling.
grown-ups all over again.
Pretty much. Pretty
You're gonna
much.
have your wife and kid in the stands
Yeah.
just watching you be like Adam Sandler, Chris Rock and company.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's funny because like I'm playing with like my groomsmen in my wedding who I went to school with, and we dominated every intramural sport. Like we showed up on the volleyball court, 3 championships in like 5 semesters.
Good for you. Oh my god.
We showed up to the flag football field, and the only team that we could not beat, the baseball team at Ramapo, had like a dynasty that like because like the coaches would be allowed to play
Intramural? The
also.
intramural
Yeah.
baseball?
Yeah. So, intramural flag football, but the baseball
Okay.
team had this dynasty where coaches could play. So the coach, so one, I think that was it their pitching coach. The pitching coach had been their quarterback for like 10 years. It's like yeah, it was like NIL.
That's absurd.
Yeah, it was crazy, and like that was the only team that we could not beat. Heartbreaking I think it was quadruple overtime. We lost to them in the championship my senior year. That loss still haunts me to this day. That's the
Oh
only
my
team that we
god.
couldn't beat. But like we're all athletes,
Yeah.
so we can show up anywhere and just be pretty good. So I'm
And
expecting a nice
and
little turnout this spring.
yeah, and just be like competitive in it too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why I don't like softball because
Sure.
15 to 12 games, like you're not like that's not fun to me. Like I want to show
Mhm.
up and like I want to try hard and I want to win. Like
Right.
I'm showing up to a field to beat you. I'm going to these golf outings because I want to drain a couple birdies and I want to shoot a 12 under with my friends and beat everybody.
Good. Ryan, the last question I always ask everybody is just your journalism career, your work with Fox News aside, just really you as a person. Ryan Morik, what's something you like most or admire about yourself?
For the lack of tooting my own horn here, I have a pretty successful life, man. Like,
It's incredible.
oh my god, I almost just teared up a little bit. I am having a baby with the girl I went to prom with.
Really?
Right?
You met her in high school?
We went to the same middle school together.
Middle Good for you, man.
We went to the same middle school together. We shared, we shared, she hates when I tell the story. We shared a basic skills English class.
Okay.
I was the only person in the school. I'm probably the only person ever to be in basic skills and advanced English same time. I was a bad test taker, so I failed the NJ Ask. Do you remember the NJ? Was that a thing for you?
Don't give
NJ
me
Ask?
PTSD, Ryan Morik.
NJ Ask. Yeah.
Of
So I
course.
failed that, but my grades were so good. But you got placed in basic skills based on your
NJS
NJ Ask
scores. And
grade.
that's why standardized testing sucks.
Right. So I basically showed up to the class and they're like, yeah, you don't belong.
Ah.
But my wife and I were in that class together. My wife powered through. She made it. Kudos. But yeah, like, look, again, what I like to or admire about myself, the fact that I made it. I'm living the dream. My wife is living her dream. My wife wanted to be an interior designer. She's doing that. She's the best.
Amazing.
We have a dog. We're gonna have a kid, and we're chilling. A lot of people would like to be in the position that I'm in. I don't want to sound cocky,
No,
at
not
all,
at all.
I think you do recognize me as a guy who definitely does not take a lot of things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Look, have I had a lot of luck on my side? Yeah, I think we all kind of need it sometimes, but I'm doing good over here, man, and that's it.
That's amazing. It really is. And I admire that so much about you as well from, an outsider perspective. Ryan, may we continue to just admire the life we are building and
Yes, sir.
doing the things that we are striving to do. May we continue to actualize that potential and just feel all of the excitement that comes along with it. Ryan Morik, thank you so much for coming on, my friend.
Thanks, dude. This was awesome. Much appreciated.